Are we recording yet?
Yes, Christine, that's why there's a red dot there.
Oh, I see now. I guess we should start the speech. They gave us a time limit.
Okay, I'll start. Welcome parents, guardians, dignitaries, administration, staff, and graduates of the St. Elizabeth community. We would like to thank everyone watching for joining us to celebrate the achievements of the class of 2020. My name is Gideon.
And I'm Christine Nguyen, and we're honored to be your 2020 Valedictorians. It's been quite a journey since grade 9 orientation day. I can't believe it's about to end soon.
I feel the same way. Our graduating class has really had a high school experience like no other.
We've accomplished one of the major early milestones in our lives, high school graduation. This is a major step on our journeys, and we should all be proud and recognize the immense significance of this accomplishment.
Everyone seems to have their own destination, their own journey. Now that I think about it, Christine, our entire high school experience reminds me a lot of getting ready to go on vacation, like going to the airport.
I'm kind of confused. How is it like going to the airport?
Okay, picture this. You have to get up at 3 a.m. for a flight, like how you have to wake up early for school.
For me, it was the other way around. I was up until 3 a.m. I don't think I've slept in these past 4 years.
Okay, let's change the scene. First, you have to plan your vacation, browsing through a travel website to see what destination best suits you. Just like how we decided to come to St. E's instead of another high school.
I see, then you buy the tickets, and that's like registration at St. E's, the applying part, and for some of us, it was auditioning for the rap program.
Exactly. I really didn't know what to expect coming into high school.
I think that's what most of us felt. We were unsure. So we tried to prepare for high school, just like when you're packing your bags to travel. You want to be as prepared as possible because you don't know what to expect.
When I was getting ready for the first day, I was packing my lunch, buying my school supplies, and best of all, our DGN Kilters uniform.
Ah, yes, the uniform that we all know and love, but I'll refuse to wear.
Okay, let's get back on track. So you've packed your bags and you're all ready to get to the airport. I don't know about you, but my trips to the airport always seem like a blur. Maybe it's because I'm always catching early flights and just barely staying awake.
Barely staying awake? A blur? That sounds like grade 9 to me. Those years seem like a lifetime ago. I was so quiet and shy, but one thing about grade 9 that I'll always remember is having Paulini's "ya ya" announcement stuck in my head.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Thinking back, grade 9 was actually a pretty good year. Everyone was making new friends, finding their place, and getting used to their lives in high school.
I don't know about you, but all throughout grade 9, I kept getting lost in the math and French hall on the 3rd floor.
I think I got used to it after a week or so. The thing that was a huge adjustment for me coming into high school was all the departments that the school had to offer. Coming from a very small elementary school, I was amazed to see a school that had a theater, an auto shop, tech department, film and photography, fashion, food and nutrition, and even parenting classes.
I was also getting used to the workload in grade 9. You could have almost always found me glued to a textbook, especially in science class. I remember stressing about biology, but my favorite part was the reptilia visit.
I remember seeing tarantulas, snakes, turtles, lizards, and not only did we get to see a variety of animals in science class, but the year after we had a whole petting zoo during the grade 10 Spirit Week.
I loved the petting zoo. I couldn't step away from the goats.
Since we're on to grade 10 now, it reminds me of another part of our analogy. So, we're still making our way to the airport. At this point, you're sitting in the cab, stuck in traffic, and you're not sure if you should strike up a conversation with your taxi driver. Kind of like grade 10, the time in high school where you're not sure what you should do. You're no longer a niner, but you're not exactly top dog yet.
Wasn't grade 10 the first year of our annual mental health week?
Yes, it was. This event involved many activities designed to promote positive mental health in our school community, support those who are struggling, and to help destigmatize mental health. We did so with guest speakers, variety night, stress kits.
Oh, and puppy therapy. Those dogs were so cute. They really helped relieve some stress from school.
And just a few weeks after, we had a pep rally in the courtyard.
It was such a fun experience. I had school-colored stripes painted on my face, and I was ready to show some St. E's spirit.
It was amazing to see every club and sports team showcase themselves. The baseball team, soccer team, basketball team.
The badminton team, hockey team, softball team.
Tennis, golfers, and the volleyball team.
And don't forget all the clubs and councils. Music Council, Athletic Council, Student Council, Media Council, Moderns Council, ESP, Peer Ministry, Best Buddy Scribbles, Club U, Moderns Council, and Dance Council.
I think Dance Council and the Comp Dance class really deserve a shout out. Grade 10 was the first time Dance Council sent a few of their students to the Ottawa-Piscat Outreach Program.
Our dancers flew to a reserve to spread their love of dance. Little did they know they were going to be the people who inspired students to have self-confidence and to love.
Well, enough about grade 10 because grade 11 is where the fun begins.
Finally, your drop off at the airport, and all your preparation will start paying off here. You get to luggage check. Do you have everything you need? Did you overpack? At this point, you start getting a bit nervous that the airport staff won't accept your luggage because it's just a few pounds too heavy.
Just like once you finally arrived in grade 11, you're a senior and study habits start to matter. Will you be able to handle more stress? I don't know about anybody else, but grade 11 was the most difficult year for me.
But thankfully, as much as grade 11 was stressful, it was also quite eventful.
It marked the year that the Raptors brought home the NBA championship title, and what a season! Plus, who could forget Kawhi Leonard's legendary game winner?
It was a proud moment that was heard all around the city of Toronto. Although grade 11 was one of the most stressful years, it was also one of my favorites. At this point, we knew how high school worked inside out.
Plus, grade 11 was the year we had semi. It was so much fun seeing everyone together outside of school. Everyone was dressed up and taking so many pictures. It was definitely a night to remember.
Definitely. One of my highlights of the year was going to nationals with our senior band in Ottawa. Our school always seemed to be planning a trip, whether it was March Break Europe trips, a Disney World trip, Vimy Ridge, New York drama or vocal trips, or Centro Scola.
Centro Scola was the dream vacation. I remember being at home my grade 11 summer while my friends were touring some of the biggest cities in Italy. Everyone who went definitely seemed to have a blast.
And with that, grade 11 was over. Which brings us back on track. Our bags got approved, and now they're on that little conveyor belt behind the airport staff. Now we hope that they're handled nicely, expecting to be reunited with them on the other side of the trip. You could almost say it's like taking a leap of faith.
Speaking of faith, our chaplaincy department and the peer ministers have played an integral role in our St. Elizabeth community. From masses to think fast to retreats, they've done an amazing job bringing the faith aspect into our high school journey.
Being peer ministers, Joy and I have seen these amazing students at work, coming to school early or staying after school to set up for masses, leading grade 9 retreats, or guiding students around for orientation day.
And soon enough, we got to grade 12.
I started grade 12 feeling big. We were finally the big fish in the sea. But when Miss Ambrosi gave us the post-secondary presentation, it finally hit me that we were graduating, and I listened in a panic, because I didn't know what to do after high school yet.
First of all, you're always overthinking. At this point, you have to choose where you want to go post-secondary, and it's terrifying. Just like when you're lining up to get to security. I guess this is like pre-seat selection. Some of us have already chosen a seat, and others take a chance and see what's available once they've boarded the plane.
Right, I think it's crazy we have to determine the rest of our lives at such a young age. Alright, so you're waiting in line, slowly coming up to security. In our reality, we're waiting for acceptances or wondering about job prospects. Some of our friends are ahead in the line and they've already cleared security, but you're still waiting and you start to worry.
That's why they say grade 12 is the most stressful year. But while still in senior year, I think we all tried to enjoy our last year of high school as much as possible.
Everyone's enjoying their last Halloween in high school, last Spirit Weeks, last Christmas. Rap kids are enjoying their last shows. We start taking grad pictures and everyone's doing their best to soak it all in before we head to the real world.
But, of course, eventually we all made plans for life after high school. And just like passing security, at this point, you're cruising.
In some of our cases, we got rewarded, some with scholarships, apprenticeships, and awards. We've really had some memorable accomplishments here at St. E's.
First off, our star skier, Paige Peary, who was the YRAA champion in grade 10, 11, and 12. Plus, many members of our school have been to OFSA, including Paige, the boys' baseball team, the boys' swimming team, and some members from the tennis team. And of course, we can't forget when a handful of our peers, including Dominic Lushinsky and Alana Tran, the bio bosses, won the Envirothon competition and moved to provincials.
Being in the robotics rooms a few times, I also remember some students went all out for Mr. Shinkario's CPT by building a go-kart, not to mention our grade won every grade war.
And lastly, we want to give a special shout out to star baseball player David Calabrese, who was just recently drafted by the Los Angeles Angels.
It's such a huge accomplishment, and you have made the St. Elizabeth community very proud. Congratulations, and wishing you all the best.
These are just a few of the accomplishments our grade has had, and it's no doubt that this group of people are headed for a lifetime of success. Now, back to the airport. I don't know about you, Christine, but after the luggage check, security, and everything else in between, I get hungry.
Same here. After security, you can almost always find me at Starbucks waiting for coffee.
We've had some great food trucks at the school too during Spirit Week and Share Life.
And we can't forget those amazing calf cookies.
Of course. And we've had some great sales, from bake sales, Krispy Kremes, to the Best Buddies candy store.
And you can't leave out the marketing fair. There was amazing food sold, and even a wide range of products, from scrunchies, Christmas socks, even Rafikis.
Wow, that's a lot of food. I usually tend to buy a lot of food at the airport to stock up for the plane ride, but once I've eaten, I like to settle down and watch some of my downloaded shows at the gate.
Speaking of shows, the St. Elizabeth productions we have had have always been one of a kind. From The Little Mermaid in grade 9 and Bah Humbug in grade 10 to back to the 80s in grade 11. Every show was one to remember. Plus, you can't forget about the dance shows. Our dancers move with the music so beautifully. My favorite by far was their body image show.
And the art and music shows. Some of my favorites were Illuminati and the annual spring concerts.
Sadly, some of our shows, competitions, games, and more clubs planned for this year were canceled. We had some complications.
Back at the airport, you could say a flight delay happened, or maybe some luggage went missing.
And as a result, we've missed our flight connection, which I would say is a prom and a live grad. But we made it. We got through these 4 years together, and we'll keep persevering through this quarantine as well. A new club at our school, Jack.org, is helping people through quarantine by giving advice on how to take care of your mental health and to stay positive and healthy during these trying times.
This club was started by our very own peers, Kiara Susathasan, Alana Tran, and Kiana Tran, to train and empower young leaders to revolutionize mental health.
Back at the airport, just like any delay, eventually you do get on your flight, and we part ways, departing through different gates to different destinations. At this point, our experience has taught us that no matter the challenges we face, even if it's a worldwide pandemic, our class is unstoppable and we have all persevered.
Before we each part ways, we want to thank everyone here who helped us navigate our figurative airport. To the mechanics, the people who keep the airport running smoothly, administration, for keeping the school in order and having such fun and memorable events run here in the St. Elizabeth community.
To the pilots, the people who get us to our destination, our teachers. We're so grateful to have people who push us to do our best in everything, using their time and energy to explain us the things we don't understand, having lunch or after school sessions for homework help, or being a supervisor for a club or team. It's appreciated.
Thank you to the baggage handlers, the people who take care of what you prepared, our guidance counselors. We can't thank you enough for listening to us, our concerns and questions, and caring for our well-being.
To the custodians, who in our figurative airport are the flight attendants, the people who keep our journey safe. We don't know how you do it, but thank you for keeping St. safe and spotless. And to security, our school-based resource officers, thank you for keeping our school community safe and helping us to connect with the community outside of our school.
To the taxi drivers, those who help us outside of our metaphorical airport, our parents and guardians, thank you for your endless and unconditional support. We couldn't have made it without you.
To those in terminal food and retail services giving us the things we need, our in-school nonas, the CAF ladies, and our Panther store staff, thank you for keeping us fed with delicious food and selling uniform or Sainey's merchandise when we needed it and candy when we wanted it.
Most importantly, we would like to thank God for guiding us through these 4 years, giving us opportunities, chances, and blessings. We hope to use all the gifts and talents you have given us so that we may do our best in the world. Being a part of our Catholic community has inspired us to pay it forward in many ways, such as food drives, baskets, and donating CPT books to St. Gaspar and Mr. and Mrs. Chimorison's English classes.
And of course, we can't forget the people we traveled with, the other passengers.
Of course. Thank you to our peers for the unforgettable memories making our high school experience here special.
Thank you for being our friends.
And our home away from home.
We know that you all have the potential to do great things. You are all amazing, intelligent, and beautiful people.
And this gets us to our last few statements, the things you should always remember when traveling and going through the airport.
What, like passports and documents?
That's right. In these 4 years, we have learned how to fight for the causes that we believe in, like during the walkout against education cuts, and especially now that we are in the midst of the international human rights movement against violence and systemic racism. Keep promoting awareness of these issues and do not be afraid to use your voice.
And don't forget to care for yourself as well. We want to let you know that you are enough, just the way you are. You are all amazing individuals made in the image of God. In other words, His masterpieces.
Wherever you are going, live in the moment and spend it with the people you love. Don't wait for moments, create them. Use the skills that high school or your airport journey has equipped you with and chase after your dreams. You can do anything if you set your mind to it.
And to conclude, we would like to thank you again for choosing us to be your 2020 St. Elizabeth Valedictorians.
We're truly honored. So, in a somewhat untraditional way, we would like to wish you all the best and congratulate everyone here. We made it and we can't wait to get started. We have a whole lifetime of destinations to look forward to, and in our carry-ons, we hold all the amazing memories we've made together at St.
It seems that we're running out of time, Joy.
Well, I think we've said everything we wanted to say, and with that,
Congratulations.
to the graduating class of 2020.